Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys all doing? My name is Matt Jarbo. Welcome to 3 Buck Theater, and today we're going to be talking about this news, this bombshell that dropped this morning. Johnny Depp loses libel case over Amber Heard allegations. And a lot of people are really frustrated at the courts in this particular case because looking into the article a bit more, here's what we find out. Here's what we know. I just want to get this information out of the way first. Judge Andrew Nichol has ruled against Depp in the actor's libel case against News Group Newspapers, publisher of The Sun, and the tabloid's executive editor Dan Wootton over a 2018 article alleging that he was a wife beater. Depp's lawyer said that it was highly likely that he will appeal against the ruling. Well, that makes the most amount of sense, but we'll talk about that. In his conclusion, the judge wrote, "The claimant Depp has not succeeded in his action for libel. Although he has proved the necessary elements of his cause of action in libel, the defendants have shown that what they are published in the meaning, which I have held to the words to bear, was substantially true." He went on to say, "I have reached these conclusions having examined in detail the 14 incidents on which the defendants rely, as well as the overarching considerations which the claimant submitted I should take into account." So this is where we find ourselves on this issue. He lost. And a lot of people are mad because in their mind, this is Johnny Depp losing. And I'm here to tell you, and this is again, my opinion, it doesn't matter. It was like going against the Sun makes the most amount of sense. Going against Amber Heard here in the States makes the most amount of sense. But it ultimately doesn't matter. So let's break down as to why. For one, I will catch crap for this. I don't think Amber Heard is a good person. And I think Amber Heard very much pushed Johnny to a lot of these extremes that he went to. But the reality of it is that in this situation, the judge is ruling that he went to that extreme. He found the evidence presented by Heard to be substantially true, meaning that, yes, Johnny Depp did physically abuse his wife. Was he prompted into doing it? Was he provoked into doing it? My personal opinion, based upon what I read on that testimony, is yes. She is a very toxic individual, and they were very toxic together. His alcoholism and his other issues clearly aided to that, to which he is not able to walk away from any consequence. Okay, let's make that abundantly clear. What happened, happened. And there was a reason why when she came out and she presented all this in the media back in 2017, 2018, that the media ran with it. There was enough there to go off of to come to that conclusion. However, the difference in this particular case between Johnny and Amber is that Amber has had no one come out and actually defend her character. No one has come out to defend Amber Heard. In fact, all we've heard from people who've known her is that she is not a good person. And she has done a lot of things in the past. Johnny Depp, on the other hand, had countless people come out who were both acquaintances and colleagues and friends, and even former family come out and say, he is not this way. He is not an abuser. Former girlfriends came out. Winona Ryder, I believe, is one of them, came out and said he is not an abuser. People defended him. When this came out, he was currently filming The Crimes of Grindelwald for Warner Brothers. There was a big cancel Johnny Depp thing, right? There was a huge cancel Johnny Depp movement because Me Too was all the rage at the time. Didn't work, didn't happen. David Yates stood by Johnny Depp. J.K. Rowling stood by Johnny Depp. They took a lot of flack as a result of that, but they stood by Johnny Depp. And guess what? Right now they are filming The Fantastic Beasts 3 with Johnny Depp still the lead antagonist. And as this story progresses, as all of the sordid details began to come out, it shifted public opinion against Amber. While she might have won this particular battle, and this wasn't even her real battle, this was against the Sun for defamation, because they claimed that, calling him a wife beater wasn't accurate, that it was defamatory. And the judge has found that it was substantially true. Now, the judge didn't call him a wife beater, but the judge is saying that there was enough there that he did physically assault his wife, which by the terminology being used is what they were ultimately able to skate by on, as scummy as it is. And it's very scummy. But now we're moving into the situation where it's coming to the United States. Now, Heard's lawyers are saying that they're going to be able to drop a lot more information about this, that they're going to have voluminous amounts of information that they're going to be able to use against Johnny Depp, that they're going to be able to factor against him. Again, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The age of the movie star is over, okay? Now it's franchises. Now it's characters that you play. We know this. Johnny Depp has no problem going back to doing indie film. The dude is rich. He doesn't want his name smeared. I get that, which is why he filed this particular lawsuit. And I do think that he should have won. But at the end of the day, this is 3 years old almost. And people have moved on. No one is going to care. It's ultimately all ceremonial. It's not going to have any impact. Amber Heard, from what we learned coming off of that trial with the Sun, again, just monstrably terrible human being. The things that he was able to prove, the things that he showed, the tapes he released, all that stuff. And yet she's still working on Zack Snyder's Justice League, and she's still going to be in Aquaman 2 and wherever else they want Mara in the DCEU. These companies are not getting involved. These companies are not canceling their actors. The court of public opinion will not shift against Johnny Depp. Those who love Johnny Depp are going to love Johnny Depp. Those who believe he is what Amber Heard says he is will believe it regardless. It's never going to change. Okay? Most oftentimes, our first impression of something in this regard is what remains. You know, and I will just, I'm bringing this up as just as an explanation, not as a thing. Look at Andy Signore. He was the second person Me Too'd after Harvey Weinstein. Okay. He was like, or the first person after Harvey Weinstein was Me Too'd with allegations of assault, allegations he proved were false, but it didn't matter. He still destroyed that still destroyed his entire career. And there are people out there to this day that if I criticize Andy, they will come in and they'll go, oh, well, he's this. And then I stop and I go, no, he's not. I don't have to do that. I choose to do that because my criticisms of Andy are completely unrelated to that accusation. And so I will not allow people to make those claims without there being some pushback on my end because I value my criticism. That's my point on that. Johnny Depp has been acting now for almost 40 years. He's a household name. He has starred in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Everyone loved it. And after this, they're probably not going to go back to Depp being Captain Jack again. And that's only going to further tank the Pirates franchise. We know this because no one cares about a Johnny Depp-less Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Amber Heard has never been a household name. Her biggest role to date was Mara. Once that's over, I don't think she's going to get a lot of work. And I say this because nobody came to her defense. 3 years ago, when she dropped all this information, people then came to her defense. Yes, 3 years ago. Now, during this whole situation, no one came to her defense. And that tells you everything you need to know about the situation at hand. Johnny Depp he lost today, and he might lose here in the States. And I know he's not going to be happy about that. I get that. But what I'm trying to say here is that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's not going to move the needle one way or another. It's not going to clear his name one way or the other. But the truth is, most people have moved on and they just simply don't care because it doesn't impact their life. Him losing this case on the eve of probably the most consequential presidential election of the next 100 years, as well as during a global pandemic, really shows you that no one is going to care. So take for what I'm saying here and really think about what I'm saying here, because I know you might come at it and you're like, no, it matters. It doesn't matter. Johnny Depp is still a millionaire. Johnny Depp will still get work. People don't care. They're not going to stop to go see these movies. They're not going to stop seeing Johnny Depp. They want him back as Captain Jack. And that's where it is. And that is simply where it is. These things have a tendency of being flash in the pan scenarios where after a while they just go away. But Amber Heard, on the other hand, it tells you that where she stands in the industry when no one comes out to defend her. And that matters more than Depp losing this lawsuit and potentially losing his defamation claim against her in the States. But he's probably got a better shot because they had an agreement. They did. They had an agreement when they broke up that she would not do what she did by writing that op-ed in the Washington Post. She had an agreement that she had signed. And that could be the linchpin that blows her whole side of it wide open. And that's going to be something to consider when that happens. But in the meantime, we'll break it down when it happens. I do want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your opinions. Let me know down in the comments section. If you made it this far, type Depp into the chat so I know. Hit a like, please. Let's try to get to 100 likes. I think we totally can. And if you guys want to support the channel, patreon.com/Matt Jarbo is the best way to do it. Really does help out right now. With no advertisers, no movies, there's no money on YouTube. So it's just, that's where it's at. So letting you guys know what's happening. All right, guys, we'll talk to you all later. Have yourself a great day. Thank you again for watching, and peace out.